Bobdale Gloves CFR is brought to you by Bobdale Gloves. Found online at bobdalegloves.com.
Super Sunday is upon us. There's been hundreds of miles and gravel roads and a bunch of blood, sweat, and tears poured out throughout this rodeo season. This is where childhood dreams become reality. We're going to crown our champions today. You're watching the Bobdale Gloves CFR on Shaw TV. Here's the time that we get to check in with Alana Nolan down at Rexall. How's the atmosphere right now, Alana?
Oh, it's going to be electric. We are ready to crown some Canadian champions today.
Well, we're going to crown a couple champions, but there's a couple guys that are making their last ride or their last run inside of Rexall Place.
Scott Byrne, for one, the great bullfighter. He's been here for 14 years, if you can believe that. He's going to hang up the cleats after Sunday. I mean, what can you say about Scott Byrne? He's been a consummate professional throughout rodeo.
Well, I have a lot of time for Scott Byrne. He's one of those guys that isn't that far from the Hall of Fame, and he's going to be a hero to people for a long time to come.
That's right, and I believe he is still sticking in rodeo, going to be a representative with Wrangler.
Well, congratulations to Scott Byrne on an amazing career, and we're so happy that he is part of what we do in rodeo. Another guy that's leaving us, Tyler Thompson.
That's right. He's going to nod his head for the last time in the bull riding, and he's even in contention to potentially get his second Canadian championship, so it'll be exciting bull riding for sure.
They've put all the numbers together in the bareback riding, and Jake Vold, how can you not say he's been the number one guy all year and a two-time Canadian champion now?
That's right, and for the second year in a row, he didn't have to wait all 6 performances to become a Canadian champion. He gets his second Canadian championship, and that'll, I think, will alleviate a little bit of that burn of not making the NFR.
That's right. The saddle bronc riding, Cody DeMoss, what does that look like going into Super Sunday?
I don't think anybody's going to catch him. He's all but clinched it. Unless something crazy happens and he gets bucked right off, I can't see anybody else being our Canadian champion but Cody DeMoss.
Well, and the true races are going to happen in our timed events where there's a whole plethora of guys that have the opportunity to win a gold buckle.
Yeah, it'll be an exciting race in the steer wrestling, tie down, and team roping. I can't wait to see what happens.
Now, as of yesterday, we had a little bit of an issue in the bull riding with Scott Schiffner. We've seen that he got knocked out. Where does that stand right now?
Well, Scotty is going to be a game time decision, I'm told. He is listed on the day sheet. We'll keep you posted.
Well, we appreciate you doing this, Lana, and it's been fun all week. I can't wait to catch up with you later on as we get to find out who our champions are going to be.
That's right. We'll talk to you then.
Thanks for that, Alana. It's going to be amazing Super Sunday. We get to crown a bunch of cowboys. Gold Buckle Dreams, only a couple of the races are decided so far, as you heard Alana and I talking about. Make sure you stick with us. It's Super Sunday right here on the Bobdale Gloves CFR on Shaw TV.
AMTA, the voice of Alberta highway transportation. The AMTA now has 2 simulators in daily use, our static trainer in Edmonton and our mobile training unit out of Calgary, which allows training at the transportation companies themselves. These are invaluable tools, honing driver skills for shifting, banking, or hazardous road and weather conditions, all in a controlled and safe environment. And that translates to better safety on our roads. Introductory pricing of $30 per hour. Alberta Motor Transportation Association.
Welcome, everyone. Mike LaBelle along with Tim Edge, and it's Super Sunday.
It is. It is time to crown the champions and see who has risen to the top in Canadian Pro Rodeo.
And if you haven't had the opportunity to check us out or follow us on social media, Tim, how can we do that?
You can do it on Twitter at ShawTVEDM or
you can visit us on the YouTube site, Shaw TV Edmonton on YouTube. Pick up all the shows and watch them a little bit later. You can pick up some more of my mistakes. For right now, though, let's head to the buck and shoots. The bareback riding is going to start right now. Look at that, we're in the Bareback ride and the chutes are loaded and ready to go. We're gonna start things off. And Kaylee, Alberta, and Matt Late he's aboard Gold Dust. This is a former horse that has taken the toll on a lot of cowboys, and Matt Late's about to test fate here. As he gets to bucket on this one, making a great spur ride, falls off to the right there, and comes down hard.
He does, and that hip does not need to be beat up any more than it already is. He's a little lame on that side from a problem earlier on in the year, and he's landed on it 3 times here at the CFR. Gold Dust is the biggest, strongest horse out there today from Big Stone Rodeo. Big Mac.
That's it. Let's go to the guy that hasn't had his best CFR in Cole Goodine. Carbon, Alberta. I know Doug and Judy are watching, and he's drawn a great horse.
American Thumper is fabulous.
This is a tough horse. And look at Cole Goodine matching it jump for jump. If he could have came out Wednesday night, I think we would have seen a lot happier Cole Goodine come today.
Yep, Cole Goodine went home, went to bed, got some sleep, and it shows right here on American Thumper with an 86. Look at him lean back. He is hungry and mad, getting to the front of them shoulders long before the horse's front feet hit the ground. Man, he is giving Jake Bold a run for style right there.
Trying to make some dollars is what he is. As we head to Deloraine, Manitoba, and Colin Adams.
You bet. Colin Adams and Black Feathers of the RC5, raised by Darcy Hollingsworth. Huge shout out to the family in Eckville, Alberta. I know Melissa's online watching as well. Black Feathers does his job. Colin Adams, he's just been solid all week long. Fantastic situation. Let's go to the replay and see what he was. 85 and a half. If you draw this horse, you're going to be above that 85 level.
That is a handful right there, and ever so eager to get to the task. Colin Adams, he's going back to Manitoba and on a high note without a doubt.
You need to when you're on your way through Saskatchewan to get to Manitoba in the middle of November as we go to Kai Marshall Bowden, Alberta, Imperial Beach.
This is going to be a bucking horse ride that's going to take Kai Marshall back into where he's been for so many years, the winner's circle. He has the ability, look at this, toes turned out, sitting square, gets to it. That is a great bucking horse ride by a guy that should have done it all week long.
Kessler Championship Rodeo bringing us Imperial Beach. This horse is just big and strong and a little bit what you want to call maybe rough. Hard to get past. Yep, and in the words of Mr. Brett Gardner, Kai Marshall has the abilities to pay the utilities and does so here on Championship Sunday.
Well, as we go to Telco BC and Logan Hodgson, he's aboard one of your favorite horses in Reckless Margie.
This is Calgary Stampede's famous Reckless Margie. She is just solid and has been for well over 10 years in the bucket horse world. Logan Hodgson gets the last one figured out. Once again, he's sore as well, tough as nails though. He's up, coming back for some more. Let's go to the replay, Mike.
Well, there's a bunch of grimace on his face when he hits the ground, but up until then, making a great spur ride. 83.25 points for him. Everything's going well, but you know what? It's his final horse. He hits the ground and just happy to be there.
Here we go.
Go ahead,
Dusty Valley presents in Alberta. Mike, do me through the ride here, buddy.
Well, this is a guy that's getting on a great horse that isn't always user-friendly, but today seems to be getting along with him just right, and maybe not as much horse as we've seen in the past, so let's look for him and go to the judges, the Ram Boys, give them the opportunity to see where they thought he should be. 80.5 points, Tim. I don't know if it's enough.
It is not going to be enough here today, but Dusty Valley, you can't fault him anywhere. He's been a champion before. He maintains all 6 rounds. He's strong, he's hurt, and he's still here.
Well, how do you beat this? Mucho Dinero and Kyle Bowers, Drayton Valley, Alberta, 5 times the champ of Canada. Oh, look at him on the gray, yeah.
Big old dapple gray stacks up right there, too, jumps out and goes to bucking and doing what he does. Mucho Dinero from Wolds. Good job, Wayne Bold, on that one. Again, one more time in slow motion. 1, 2, 3, and stacks up right in front of the bucket chutes, making money, making points, and look at Kyle, class act.
87.75, 87 3/4. That guy's been the class of bareback riding for 12, 13 years.
Quint Lake, Cadogan, Alberta, on his way to Las Vegas, the Wrangler National Finals Rodeo. He's on a right-hand delivery with special delivery from the Calgary Stampede. leaning back, doing his job. Maybe not quite as snappy as the previous ride we saw with Kyle, but this horse isn't quite as easy to be snappy on. So we'll let the Ram boys do it, like you say, and the adjudication lies at 79.75, just not quite as slick.
Well, you watched his right leg. He just got it going there. Missed about the first 4 or 5 jumps. They're going to dock you a bunch of points there. It doesn't matter. He's had a great CFR, and he's going to represent us well down to national finals. How about Regina, Saskatchewan's Ty Tapetat, Tim? This is fun on Shadow Warrior.
Ty Tapetat, do not count him out ever. Calgary Stampede's massive horse from the Warrior string. Check out the snap. Just absolutely stereotypical Warrior breeding on this great horse from the Stampede. Just a beautiful little ride from Tapetat. He's strong, he's solid. It wasn't quite up there. 84 3/4, 3 points off the mark. However, he's had a heck of a final.
Well, his lowest score of the week so far was 82.5. He's had a great finals.
Caleb Bennett, speaking of having a heck of a finals, Wanaka Rocket. I like saying that. Say it for me. Wanaka Rocket.
Wanaka Rocket.
I like it. Big painted pony and makes a leap. 2 jumps out of there. Comes around to the left, right back to the Martin Deer line. Shoot. He is tapped off and ready. Are we going to get the Hercules? You betcha. Boy.
I'll be Hercules. You can be that other guy. 89 points. Look at that. Caleb Bennett, Wanaka Rocket. What a great way to end his Canadian Finals rodeo. He vied to chase Jake Vold, but we'll see what happens here shortly. You know he's excited.
Well, he gave it a valiant effort, tried hard all week long, and man, Wanaka Rocket just knocked it out of the park for him on the last one. Here's the guy that couldn't be caught. True Grit, Airdrie, Alberta's Jake Vold. Let's lean back, rock and roll. What do we get today? Well,
look at this.
We get exactly what we're used to getting. Hammer, hammer, hammer. Right there. Look at the style. Look at the spur stroke. And of course, the horse didn't let us down. We just watched history in the making.
Well, that guy is textbook. Look at that, 89 1/4 points. He's going to move to the lead by 1/4 point. Makes a spur ride each and every time. Turns those toes out, gets to it, and there's a guy that takes care of his business.
It does, as he is your go-round winner as well, and I will bet you dollars to donuts, he is only about, what, $2,000 off the $100,000 mark for the year.
Well, how about we take this opportunity and go to the Kingsway Toyota Winner Circle with Alana Nolan and our new Canadian champion for 2 years in a row, Jake Vold.
Kingsway Toyota Winner's Circle is sponsored by Kingsway Toyota, offering a no-appointment express lube, as well as maintenance and repair of all vehicle brands. Kingsway Toyota, in business in Edmonton for 40 years. For information, visit kingswaytoyota.com.
Well, Jake, your second Canadian title in 2 years. What does this one mean to you?
You know, this is huge. This is, I thought I was pretty excited about the first one, but I think I'm quite a bit more excited about this one. It was a tough week, you know, there's great guys, all 12 guys here, phenomenal, right? Horses were amazing, everybody rode good. Just happy to come out on top.
Well, once again, it didn't take the entire CFR for you to be named a champion. Why have you been so successful in this bareback riding and so dominant?
You know, I've set that goal out about 3 years ago. I was, just personally, I was just tired of being one of the guys that made it. I just wanted to try to step up. I looked up to guys like Dusty LaValle, Kyle Bowers, Davey Shields, you know. Them guys all had dominating years, and I always said I wanted to be like one of them. So I changed it up a few years ago, changed my attitude a little bit, just having a lot more fun and enjoying it, and loving riding bareback horses, so it's working out.
You cap off Championship Sunday with a win of the round. Could you have asked for a better ending to CFR?
No, not at all. Last year I was pretty ticked off. Had her one on Saturday, and I slapped my horse on Sunday. And it was 365 days ago, and I never forgot about it one day. So this year I was bound and determined to make it better, and yeah, it couldn't have worked out any better for me.
Redemption, I like it. Good. Thank you so much, Jake. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Guys, over to you at the studio.
One thing Jake Vold doesn't tell you, what Jake does 5 days a week is hit that gym, and it shows right here. 89.25 tonight. Caleb Bennett with an 89 flat. Kyle Bowers 87 and 75. Cole Goodine with an 86. And number 5 position will be Colin Adams with an 85.5. Ty Tapetat, your man, with an 84. There it is on the day. Jake Vold 12,159 as it's been all year long. Caleb Bennett 9,041. Kyle Bowers with a 5,923. Cole Goodine 2,800 and Colin Adams 1247.
Well, this is where they finish up. Look at it in the gold letters, Jake Bold, your Canadian champion. You were right, Tim. He's about $1,500 away from making the $100,000 mark. Caleb Bennett, about $27,000 behind. Kyle Bowers with 56. Ty Tapatat at 50,000 and change. Dusty LaValle at 38. And Clint Lay, who's heading into the NFR pockets, 37,462. Something pretty cool. We've talked about it all week. It's a lot about rodeo. Why don't we head down on the streets and find out what is going on in rodeo and where would people like to see it go? Let's go visit Bianca Jade as she talks to everyone on the streets.
For 42 years, the CFR has called Edmonton home. So we're getting your thoughts today on should it stay or move away.
You bet. Keep it in Edmonton.
Oh, Alberta is Cowboys. You know, that's where it's at.
The Heritage Rodeo. I think the Heritage Rodeo will always be here because it's part of Farm Fair.
Stay in Edmonton for myself. Well, since we show cattle and everything, it's closer to home, and I'd definitely rather have it here.
We bring cattle here. I come to help someone every year, so it's easier to come up. Edmonton or Calgary wouldn't matter much, but Vancouver's a little far away to haul cattle from Saskatchewan, so here's pretty good.
I like it here. It's a good location. It's large, and there's lots of room for all the animals to come through.
It's a good place here in Edmonton. I mean, it works well. It's centered and draws a lot of people here.
Calgary, just because that's close by to where we are, and we think Calgary's a great city, and yeah, it's worth the trip, but it'd be nice if it came home.
No, Vancouver's a little too hipster for us to show up there for a rodeo.
This is one of the things that I look forward to in I guess in the entire year. You get to meet a bunch of new people from all around the world, I guess, like Portugal, Mexico.
It's just so many people come back and they're in the same seats year after year after year, and you almost develop a relationship with those people, and and maybe you've never spoke to them, but you develop a certain relationship with them, you know, and it's that kind of thing that I really enjoy, especially here. So I hope I'm sure it'll stay and flourish here in Edmonton. The fans are fantastic.
Yeah!
We're almost going back to the timed event shoot, but Tim, we got to thank our friends at the Central Social Hall. They've made sure they've taken care of catering for the whole staff, and of course, Judge Jackie in Master Control doesn't like to go hungry.
Absolutely not. Fish tacos are fantastic.
Let's head down to the timed event shoots. A little bit of bulldogging.
Uh-oh, no comment.
Uh-oh. Look at that, the bulldogging. Let's start it out with Roddy Hayes. Here's a guy from Rocky Mountain House that has just had tough luck all week, but gets one covered here. It looks like he's okay. We got to look to the replay, though. Let's make sure we didn't see that red light come on, and we didn't. 5.4 seconds for Roddy Hayes, so finally, the end of the CFR, he gets himself a good qualified time, Tim.
He did not draw one steer that wanted to lay flat. Every one of them hung a leg on him, just tough luck. Justin Walker, Aneroid, Saskatchewan, with a great bay horse coming around his hip and go to bulldogging. You know, that wasn't exactly perfect on a technical view, but he stood up, moved that left leg over, got it back underneath himself, and threw that steer in a 4 and 5.
Well, technical or not, he puts himself in the lead right now, and good for the Aneroid Cowboy. As we go to Coleman Colehorst, Okotoks, Alberta, who up until the fourth performance was sitting great in the average. Since then, gone downhill a little bit on him. He's going to take care of business and knocks one down in a hurry. Let's watch this on the replay. He takes care of business. Look at the hazer, setting it up just right, getting him in nice and close. To the nose he goes, down, and all four legs thick and straight out. Great job.
You know, that steer's been caught each and every time. He really wants to take a fall. That's the one you want to draw in round number 6. We go to Justin Miller. It's all you. I like this big black horse. He can really run. However, we slipped the inside horn. He gets up. He was going to fix it, unable to keep his hands on the black steer. Let's watch what happened. You see there, he got down just a little bit early. The horse went by and hid the horn on the cowboy. And then when the horse goes all the way by, the steer stopped. Didn't work.
Let's go to Big Straws Milan. Cochrane, Alberta, the guy that's kind of fought everything this week, whether it be bad draws, bad scoring, everything. Let's put it together one time here, big boy. Nice run by Straws Milan, and he celebrates. Oh my God, looks like he cut his hair with a weed whacker.
Yeah, I think he may have lost a bet on that one. I'm not sure what's going on. Either way, 3.9 is where he's at as he twists the brindle steer down. Yes, sir. He's got the line in there. You know, you used to play pro hockey. You never know what's going through those guys' minds, do you?
A guy that's tight in the average right now, Travis Rie, he's at the top of it. He has caught every steer. A former all-around champ. Let's see what he does, Tim.
He is got one, and tough steer. Oh, had to stand up, think about it for a second, regroup, and do it right. Let's go back to the replay and see exactly where things went slow on him. Steer didn't start real hard and went to the right a little bit to begin with. Brings him up and over and just had to stand up and physically throw this steer. Momentum all went away on him, but he's on the ground and he got it done.
Well, and he has a qualified time on all 6 steers. Let's head to Didsbury, Alberta, and Morgan Grant. One of the 2-event Cowboys. Time to put it together. Look at this. Yeah! Uh-oh, hung a leg. Did he get it out? I'm not sure. Morgan's getting up. He doesn't seem overly happy. I'm not sure if he got up before they dropped the flag. No, they gave him a time, so lucky for him, he's in there right now, tied with Strauss-Milan.
You know, they got out good on that steer last night. Why he was unhappy is because he was off the line about a foot, and that just brought him up to 5 and 6. Scott Gunther, he's your season leader. Got that brace on the left bicep. Catches his in a hurry. Yes, sir. We bulldogged right there. Now, what have we got as he celebrates on the way back to the box? High five to Curtis. Right out there in front. And 3 and 3, respectable. Anywhere, anytime. Good job, Scotty.
Well, he's placed on every one of his steers as well, so he knows he's getting an average check. Congratulations to Scott Gunther.
Let's do Curtis Cassidy from Donalda. What can you say about Curtis?
Well,
he's won it 11 times. He's won the all-around, won the high point. Catches his steer right out front. Uh-oh. Look at that. How about the recovery from the Donalda Cowboy? Watch this.
Where did he put his cape? That's the Superman bulldogging right there.
His feet hit the ground, and he gets real behind. It took every ounce of effort just to hang on to the steer. As soon as he stands up, he goes to the nose, and the steer took the fall. Tough luck on the last one, but he got him down.
Here's Dayton Raworth, the guy that is the rookie here and has a go-around win. Sorry, Alberta. Time to get down on one. Dayton, do it 2 times in a row. Come on. Nah, dog fall a little bit on him, folded up, came down slow, and he isn't going to make a whole bunch of money with a run like that today, and none of it's his fault, Tim.
And a little bit, though, he broke out. 14 and 3 is where he's going to end up. No luck at all. Oof. Bad way to have your 6th round. Let's go to Tan Man. Tanner Milan, Cochrane, Alberta. Oldest of the set of brothers that are rodeo legends from Cochrane and Man. Speaking of bad luck, didn't work for him here today. Steer set up, he goes right over the top.
Spending time chasing tail. That's not going to work.
Well, yeah, not happy, not going to work out for him. Let's go to Cody Cassidy. Donalda, Alberta. There's Greg and Mom and Tanya. Everybody's in the stands here today watching. We come forward across the line. He got out good, gets one caught. He's not going to beat that 3 and 3, but he darn sure gave it the old Donalda try. He's happy right now.
That is a celebration.
Your champion.
Yeah, no. They can't catch him now. 4 and 2. Great run by Cody Cassidy. He's been there 3 times before.
You know, he doesn't show much emotion. He did a little there, and it's fantastic. Winner in the round, though, we're going to go to your season leader, Scott Gunther.
Well, thanks for that, and we're going to head down to the Kingsway Toyota Winner's Circle with our Canadian
Kingsway
champion.
Toyota Winner's Circle is sponsored by Kingsway Toyota, offering a no-appointment express lube, as well as maintenance and repair of all vehicle brands. Kingsway Toyota, in business in Edmonton for 40 years. For information, visit kingswaytoyota.com.
Well, another repeat champion this time in the steer wrestling with Cody Cassidy. Cody, where does this one rank for you?
Well, this one's right up there, just as special as, the other 3. I can't think that anyone would say that they're not as special. Maybe the first one just because you always have doubts in your mind if you're capable enough of ever winning a Canadian championship. And then, to win this one was special just because it tied me with my dad. And I want to win more, obviously. I don't want to stop now. But it was one of my biggest goals was to, when I started winning them was to, try and win 4 one day. And, the stars were aligned this week. Wasn't looking like it was going to be in my favor the first night, but, I just kept plugging away and, it worked out in the end.
What is it about Edmonton that makes you so successful here?
I've always had good luck here. And you have to have a certain amount of luck to do good here. You can't come here and draw the worst steer every night and think that you're going to end up the Canadian championship, with the Canadian championship. And I drew good this week. I wouldn't say that I had every one of the best steers, but a combination of being physically fit and mentally fit and riding, probably the best horse here, and all the combination of that, and it, it worked out.
Well, speaking of the best horse here, you rode Tank all week. You rode him all year. Why that decision?
I rode him here last year. Was the first time that I rode him, and the horse, in all honesty, the horse feels the closest to Willie of any horse that I've rode since Willie. So, I get along with him good. I have got a lot of confidence in him, and the horse runs really fast. So you can speed steers up that maybe aren't 3-second steers or whatever, and when you can start doing that, and in turn it just gives you so much more confidence, and then you can go up to the drawing board and look at your draw, and you just you kind of think, well, I know I can win on that steer, where maybe some horses aren't as fast, and you get a hard running steer, and they're not going to let you win as much. But I mean, Tank's he's a great horse, and Dusty Walker, he was really good to travel with all this year, and we all got along good. And Josh Harden was hazing for us all this year, and he did a really good job too. So I mean, my hat's off to him.
Congratulations, Cody. Thanks so much for this.
Thank you.
Mike and Tim, over to you in the studio.
Well, thank you, Alana. This is how it works out. Scott Gunther 3-3, Coleman Cohorse with 3-8, Straws Mylan with a 3-9, 4-2 from Cody Cassidy to cinch the championship. Number 5 position today will be 4-5. 6 and 7 is going to split with Travis Rie and Morgan Grant. We go to the dollars. Scotty Gunther with 12 grand, Coleman Cohorse with the $9,000 slot, Straws Mylan 59.23, Cody Cassidy with only $2,800. That's all he needed to cinch his championship, and Dustin Walker gets one more check for the year with a $12.47.
Well, and your Canadian champion is Cody Cassidy, $60,610. His brother Curtis right behind him, about $5,200 back. Scott Gunther finishes in third. Tanner Mylan in fourth. Travis Rie in fifth. $44,000, your top 6. Morgan Grant, the 2-event cowboy, in at $38,562. Make sure you stick with us. We're going to head to the team roping right after this.
When the party's over and you need a friend, who's it likely to be? Who's the first one you'll see? Probably me. Probably me.
Learn how you can help homeless animals find their forever family. Visit arcs.ca.
Right before we head down to the team roping, Tim, there's a couple teams that are in pretty quick contention.
There are. You got Roland McFadden and Tyrell Flewelling, who are obviously, if you've been with us the whole 5 performances, know that they are the favorites. But there's another team right behind them in Levi Simpson and Jeremy Buehler. Now, Buehler, here's the deal. What happens with those guys is they spend a lot of time south of the 49th parallel working at making the national finals rodeo, not spending as much time north up here, and so they came into the finals a little lower, but they have shown their mettle and climbed up the standings with an entire $25,000 won on the year. Now, the horse that your Fear the Beard Jeremy's riding, I got to mention it. How about Rick James?
Well, it's a great horse, and you know what? Let's head right down there now, and we get to find out what's going to happen in the team roping and watch Rick James. Let's head to our first team. It shapes up like this. Murdoch Keith, Riley Warren haven't done what they've wanted, but they can improve it right here, right now, Tim.
You bet Doc hasn't had the finals he's wanted to have. Gets one hammered right there. Wow, that steer just, he handled really, really tough, and Riley didn't have an opportunity of getting a shot. Threw a lot of rope out there. Dally with a lot of rope. Oh, he goes down on the front end a little bit. I missed that in the fast part. Yeah, nope, didn't work. Riley just didn't have a shot. No time. Trent Tunkey, Clint Buehler.
Well, you talk about a city police officer and his partner in crime. if you will. Clint Bueller, it's going to be good. Tunkey picks them up. No, we've missed there. We're 0 for 2. It's Super Sunday. We need to do better than that, fellas.
Oh my goodness, they stole that one from him, didn't they? He unfortunately went to the pin too quick, just plain old missed. Travis Booth, Clint Weston, these guys can do it anytime, anywhere. What do we got in the back? There's a 2-footer. Fantastic loop from the team. We're gonna go to the replay and I'll tell you why. Right there in front, he waits that 2 jump, swings over his back, and a 4 and 2, respectable anywhere.
Well, that's going to give you a paycheck right now, but there's a lot of teams left to go. Clayton Hansen and Rocky Dallin. Here's a couple of guys that just started roping Wednesday night. That's the first time they spun a steer together, and look at that. They set things off at 4 seconds flat. I seen it on the lights. Look at this. That guy does not miss often. He's just a sharpshooter on the heeling side. And Rocky Dallin, great run.
Greatest healer Canada's ever produced. As we go to Garrett Rogers and Jacob Miner, I got to talk to Jacob yesterday. He said he's feeling good, and he is showing it right here on that second steer in the night. Watch this. Right now, once over the back, and hammer time.
4 and 2, another good run. We've turned things around right now. Let's go to Steele DePoli and Casper Roy. Tell us about Bam Bam.
Bam Bam on the backside is your heel horse of 2016, and that's Badger on the front. He's last year or the year before. I may have to check that. Head horse of the year. Tough loop from Casper. Comes around. He needed to maybe just follow through a little bit more there. No luck and a no time.
No, it didn't work out for them today. As we go to Clay Ulery and Kevin Schreiner.
Well, Kevin Schreiner told me if we have a rodeo in Rimby, he'd heel for me, so I'm going to take him up on it. And well, I'm maybe gonna.
Yeah?
Clay Ulery spins one for him and no luck. But you know what? Squiggy is one of the best healers in the entire world. That's what we call Kevin Schreiner in the practice pen. He's absolutely phenomenal. Bad luck shone on him here today. Just a bad day.
One of the nicest guys you'll ever meet. Colton Schmidt, Dustin Searcy. This is a team that wants to put it together quick, and now they came out and tried to get into that 3-second hole. Of course, we know our record right now inside of that arena is that 3-7. He went on one horn and just couldn't go from there.
Well, you know, he only swung it once, and that's the chance you take if you're not going to do it. Levi Simpson is a laser. 2-3 swings right there. Jeremy coming across. Rick James says, whoa, we're done. That's all you can say right there. We're done.
Hashtag fear the beard.
I think he's using that now, actually. All right, Levi does it. 4-1 is where we're at. This team, I will forecast you'll find at the National Finals Rodeo. As we go to Clay White and Brett Buss, my neighbors and first cousins to each other. What do we got in the backside? Are we clean? Judge says we are clean.
Looks good. Let's watch this run again. Gets out there quick, makes the turn. Clay does not waste any time. 4-3. That's going to put them back a bit, knowing we have the 4 flat and a couple of 4-2s. Let's go to the brothers McCarroll. Justin and Brett need to make some money here. They've taken themselves all but out of the average with some no times, and you know what? They make a respectable run there at 3-6, but the big but.
The big butt, the Cowboy speeding ticket. 10 seconds goes on the backside. A 4-6 turns into an 8-6. Not going to place here today in this round of champions, which has just become extremely rapid. Let's go to your man. Here is Roland McFadden, Tyrell Fluellen.
Roland McFadden, Tyrell Fluellen have the opportunity to become Canadian champions right here. They need to have a good run. Make one paycheck, and that's what it is. They're tight in the corner. Where do we stop the clock? It looks like 4-8, but we need to go to the replay. Is he clean? Out he comes. Makes the turn. He gets into the corner in a bit of a bind. We get a quick loop on there. Turn, face, tighten up. How about 4.8 seconds? But here's your champions on the day.
Go round win number 2.
Exactly.
From
Let's head to the Kingsway Toyota Winner's Circle with Alana Nolan and Clayton Hansen and Rocky Dallin.
Kingsway Toyota Winner's Circle is sponsored by Kingsway Toyota, offering a no-appointment express lube, as well as maintenance and repair of all vehicle brands. Kingsway Toyota, in business in Edmonton for 40 years. For information, visit kingswaytoyota.com.
Okay, Tyrell, you got your lucky red shirt on. You're a 3-time Canadian champion. What is it about this arena for you?
I don't know. I mean, the biggest part is I've roped some awesome headers here, and that's the biggest part, and they've done a really good job for me. So it's just, some arenas you have good luck in, and this happens to be one of them. So I don't want it to leave here at all. If it goes downtown, I might just not even go.
Roland, the McCarrolls were breathing down your neck coming into today. How did you handle the pressure and get it done for a Canadian Championship?
Man, not very well. I haven't ate yet today. And, I respect those two guys so much. I mean, they're such great guys, and we're friends. I've been going to the pool every morning with Justin and his daughter, and another really good friend of mine, Jeremy Bueller and Levi. Those guys rope so awesome. I mean, they're going to make the NFR. And to have that kind of competition, it made me nervous because they're some of the best too. They all got gold buckles, so it was nerve-wracking. But I had Tyrell back there; he's won it twice already. So he just said, "Well, just go do what you do, and we'll be okay." So that really helped me out at the end when we were by ourselves down there. So
you finished with a 4 and 8 on the week. Are you happy with your CFR?
Yeah, I'm happy. I mean, I won Canadian champion, so of course I'm happy. And I made 2 mistakes this week. I missed one last night, and I broke a barrier. And this guy's really modest, but he pulled me out of a hole. I mean, he's the man. So,
are you going to Disneyland?
No, probably just to Lacombe.
We're going to Lacombe.
Guys, back to you in the studio.
Thanks, Alana. It's not Disneyland, but Tim, why don't you take us through the boards? You have worked at Disneyland.
I have, and I tell you what, Lacombe is about 52 minutes from Disneyland. It is nowhere near. Clayton Hansen, Rocky Dallin to 4 flat on the day. Levi Simpson, Jeremy Bueller with 4 and 1. 1/10 of a second behind them is Weston and Booth and Rogers and Minor with that 4-2 split, 3rd and 4th. Brett Buss and Clay White, you know what? They were hungry after that call the other day. 4 and 3 again today. Roland McFadden and Tyrell with a 4 and 8. We'll flip to the next board. 13 and 6 from McCarrolls and a whole pile of NTs behind that. It's a rough day for some guys. As we go to Clayton Hansen and Rocky Dallin, second go-round win for the young gun from Montana and Clayton, $6,000. Jeremy Bueller, Clint Weston, Travis Booth, Garrett Rogers split in the top side. Pardon me, rather, with Levi and Jeremy with 4,500. Clint, Travis, Garrett, and Clint with 2,182. Brett Buss and Clay White, 623.
Well, if we go to look at that, no dollars for the rest of the guys, 7 through 12, but our Canadian champions with 38,799 and 38,798.95. There must be a Lacombe tax there somewhere. Levi Simpson in second, 35,703. The McCarrolls at 30,000 and change. Brett Buss and Clay White, 26,496. What do you say? That was a great team roping for those guys. All the way down to Murdoch Keith and Riley Warren, who didn't have the week that they wanted. Earlier on, we seen Cody Cassidy has become your ski wrestling champion. Before that, we crowned his dad, Greg, into the Hall of Fame. Let's take this chance and catch up with Curtis Cassidy.
My grandpa rodeoed and my dad rodeoed, and I honestly didn't want to do anything else since I was a little kid. I've done 2 events my whole life, so I would assume I should be prepared for it. I think one event is definitely easier because you only got one thing to concentrate on, but I mean, competing in 2 is awesome in its own respect. Like you get a chance twice the money every day, and sometimes it's a catch-22. Sometimes you get to double dip and win money in both events, and then sometimes you do bad in one, so it makes you bear down and do better in the other. And sometimes if you win money in your first event, you're like kind of a little bit of pressure's off because you already won a little money in the other events, so maybe you don't try as hard in the next event. The steer wrestling's all about being pumped up and aggressive with your head catch, trying to make as good a run as you can on them steers every day. Or the calf rope is more about finesse and being smooth and not beating yourself a lot of times. You got to go fast, but you can't make mistakes either at the same time. So you got to focus on that as well too. It was always a goal of mine to win in more than one event or to win in the same event twice. So it's been on the back burner since I won Calgary in 06, so I'm going to try for it again. Curtis Cassidy, tie down and steer wrestler.
Well, Tim, it's time for a little bit of bronc riding. This could be electric.
Let's get underway. We got Pedro underneath Kyle Thompson. Lundbrook, Alberta man. previous all-around champion. He has got one of the biggest and baddest horses in the pen. Pedro heads to the fence, stalls up in the gate a little bit. Just maybe isn't having his hugest day, but Kyle's happy to get by him.
Well, that's it. Pedro's a little better than that on most days, and you're not going to see that word beside Pedro often. Option for a re-ride, and you know he's all cowboy. He's going to take it.
Pedro's just feeling a little off today. I wouldn't be able to understand. Once again, a Darcy Hollingsworth raised horse. As we go to Dustin Sapola, Nanton, Alberta, Explosive Skies. Here's one of the ones you want to look at from the Stampede string. Out of the dashboard. Yup, that is what you call whoop.
Exactly. He rode that horse's neck all the way down the front of his face and ended up face first in the dirt, and that did not feel good. Look what he gets up. Ay caramba, that was not good. Yeah? Did someone catch the number of that train?
Which way did the freight train go? Court Shear has Stampede Warrior. I talked to these guys this afternoon as well. Every one of them was happy with their draw. Court Shear using them up, not getting into time to the first 5 jumps. Now he's got it under control. Circles around to the right a little bit. Points aren't going to be too much higher than an 80. We'll see what we get done. Ooh, 85 and a quarter. Look at me wrong with the judges today. Rambos know what they're doing. The adjudication is in. 85 and a quarter.
Let the judges judge. We'll talk, and we're going to be a whole bunch better off for it because we just don't judge well.
Those are some wise words, Mike LaBelle. Let's go to Zeke Thurston, Big Valley, Alberta. City Fire. Now, City Fire brought to you by Outlaw Buckers. There's the guys, there's the family. We want to take a little money back to Big Valley, doing the old Alamand around into the buck and shoot. Zeke's using them for all he's worth. There we go, now we're getting some spur strokes out of him. Kind of a tough horse to ride, not real easy to get in time with.
Well, City Fire, not user-friendly, comes out backwards, doesn't really give him any sort of a trip at all. You see that 66 and a quarter with the option. Zeke is going to take that option. We know he'll get on another one because he wants to make money before he heads to Vegas to represent our great nation.
Headed south here, not too many days' time. I was able to have a scotch with Cedar last night. He said he was extremely excited for him. Josh Harden, Boudelier, Big Valley Alberta Cowboy.
Well, Josh Harden, one of those guys that's in the race for the all-round title of Canada, and he has put together a season that's been phenomenal. Between the Bronc riding and the Bulldogging, this kid is all cowboy all the time and has drawn deep into the pen. Boudelier is not one of the easy ones from Duffy, and the score shows it. Not the best trip, 67 and a half, but another qualified ride.
Another qualified ride, and just a testament to his all-around skills. He was hazing for Curtis and Cody Cassidy all year long as well, traveling with those guys, and Dustin Walker. Just an awesome, awesome cowboy all the way around. Sam Keltz, Millerville, Alberta. Tonight, the young man is getting on the Ritz from the old string and set right down upon the backside.
I know exactly what he was thinking. Shoot, shucks, darn golly, geez, I wish I could do that again.
Got bucked off today. Lucky Sunday did not get so lucky. Let's go to Chet Johnson. Smiling Chet Johnson and Xavier Joan. I like this horse as well from the Calgary Stampede. Uh-oh.
Whoa.
Having a little wreck.
Chet,
having
get out of the way.
She lost her footing, rolled over a little bit. That goes to show you how athletic this guy is. Watch right here with this separate camera angle. Steps away from her, keeps on crawling. You gotta hustle, you gotta move. Saved his own life right there.
Well, and he's still smiling. That guy doesn't have very many bad days.
Phoned Leighton Green on the way here. He said, guess what? I got Lynx Mountain. I hung up the phone. That's all I wanted to hear. Come on, Leighton, get it done for me, my man. Yes, sir. That's exactly what he said he's going to do. Use him to the full force of his ability, and he does so. Fantastic bucket horse ride, Leighton Green.
That kid is going to have a long career. The big rear out holds with it. Lynx Mountain, not the easiest horse to ride, but as you said earlier, Leighton Green makes the best of it. Look at him, beating that horse to the front each and every time, setting his feet, and just making a real textbook ride.
Jim Barry, Rocky Mountain House, Alberta, and Banshee from Big Stone Rodeo. All right, Big Jim, let's get it done. Nods his noodle. Banged around to shoot a little bit, not a big deal. Now Banshee going to work, and Jim Barry making the spur strokes, both legs even, both legs consistent, good spur contact. I think we got a decent little ride out of here. Let's see what the adjudication provides.
I think he's going to do just fine. Jim Barry and Banshee match up for 79 and a quarter points, and not as many as he would have wanted, but I don't think Jim is just at the full strength right now. These guys are tired, and he isn't reaching and charging to the front the way he was earlier in the week.
Let's go back to the reride of Kyle Thompson. Here's that great big Gorilla horse, Big Muddy, we saw earlier in the week.
Oh, right. giving him some troubles. Couldn't get in time at all, and unfortunately, things just weren't going to happen for Kyle Thompson today.
Yep, just not his final. You know, you got to have luck, and that's just all there is to it. Roland was talking about being lucky here a little earlier on, and sometimes it shines into your favor. And not here today, just didn't get the horses he wanted, unfortunately, but he'll be back. 2016 is a brand new year.
Well, it is, and it's going to start soon enough as we go to Chuck Schmidt. Keldrin, North Dakota, aboard the Black Hills, and this is a tough horse to get out on. There we go. Great mark out, and he gets the spur, and he is making a ride here.
Yep.
All right, Chuck, get to it. Keep going, keep going. I want you to watch on the replay the arm that he has the buck rein in. It doesn't move at all. He holds this horse's head about as steady as you can.
Good ride. You want to lift on that rein the whole time and keep control of your riding motion, and he does so just there. When you get control, you're able to spur, you're able to make those points, make these horses look as good as you can. Let's go to Wade Sundell, Lunatic Party. Do you think this guy could have drawn any better today?
How about the Outlaw Boys? They're not proud of this horse at all, are they?
Oh, this is one of the most phenomenal horses in Canadian rodeo, and he's getting shown off right here. This is exactly what they wanted to draw.
That big paint is quite something. Wild West Wade Sundell puts on a bit of a clinic here in his own right. 87 1/4 points. That guy can just about ride anything, I'm sure of it, Tim.
If it's got hair on it, I'll guarantee he's tried. All right, Wild West 87 is where we're going to leave him. Into your next man. He is the guy in the lead of the world, the guy that rolled in the lead of Canada, Cody DeMoss. Let's do it.
Rubles, the name of the horse, and he's putting on another ride here.
Rubles is one of the better horses in the entire world as well. I love it. One that you can bring to town and make some money on. Now, Cody DeMoss, look at that. Keeping his spur stroke in order, practicing each and every second. He is on God's green earth. Happy about life. He's doing well here today. Let's go to the replay. Nods his head, a bit of a rear out on the Blaze Face pony. Making it count each and every stroke. Check it out. Rubles, told you, awesome. Having the day as well. One of the better horses in the pen today.
Well, and what a guy to make him look that much better. Cody DeMoss has had a banner year right from day one till right now. He will be a force to be reckoned with at the NFR. Let's go to Zeke Thurston and his re-ride. Weekend departure, Tim. What can you tell us about what's going to happen here?
Right here, Weekend Departure is one of those big, snappy horses from the Calgary Stampede strength. In the re-ride here tonight, not a bad one to draw, and Zeke goes ahead and uses it. Too bad we couldn't use those last two jumps after the whistle, but right here, right now, bam, bam, and tries to stack up and do a little bit of work right here. Finds the fence, has to get back off of the fence. That eats up about 1.5 seconds. Let's go now to Chet Johnson on his re-ride. You saw his horse get down and roll around on him a moment ago. Come on, buddy. Let's get one rode right out there in front. Snaps in two. He's doing his job. Gets in time about the 4th jump and rides him all the way down to the roping box. There you go, buddy.
Just a textbook ride from Chet Johnson aboard Cowboy Trail. This is one of those horses as honest as the day is long, and the score shows it. 82 1/4. Nothing flashy, nothing big, but gives him the opportunity to make a great spur ride 8 seconds at a time. You know what? What do you say about Chet Johnson? What do you say about Wild West Wade Sundell?
I think we've about said everything we can say about him. He got a hold of one here today as well. Lunatic Party. Absolutely fantastic. You can't do much better than that when it comes to bucking horse riding. He did great. It's all his.
We need to head to the winner's circle with our Canadian
Kingsway
champion.
Toyota Winner's Circle is sponsored by Kingsway Toyota, offering a no-appointment express lube, as well as maintenance and repair of all vehicle brands. Kingsway Toyota, in business in Edmonton for 40 years. For information, visit kingswaytoyota.com.
Okay, Cody, you came in here with a killer lead. You're walking out the Canadian champion. Where does this rank with all of the accomplishments that you've had in your career?
It's definitely in top 5 at least. No, this is really good to come win Canada. I mean, this is the best rodeo association that we got up here, and it's I guess it means a lot to a lot of people on this deal, and
definitely a feather to put in my hat.
Absolutely. You were so dominant this week, placing in 5 of the 6 rounds. How are you able to find your rhythm here in Edmonton?
Well, most of it's just wanting to win, and I'm glad they let me win a couple of times, but I think I'm back to where I need to be, and I want to win. So
You're going to be vying for your World Championship in Vegas next month. How do you carry this momentum into December?
Well, all season long I planned on this, to come get on these horses up here as sort of a tune-up and to get ready, and I think it worked in the way that I wanted it to, and I feel good right now, and just thank God for all my blessings, and it's been a great week.
Well, thank you for entertaining us in the Bronc riding, Cody. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
That's first-time Canadian Saddle Bronc champion Cody DeMoss. Guys, over to you in the studio.
Thank you, Alana. You're keeping it classy down there for us, and we appreciate it. Let's go to the boards with Wade Sundell and an 87.25. Cody DeMoss with an 86.5. Court Shear, 85.25. Leighton Green with that 84.5. Chuck Schmidt, 83 3/4, and Zeke Thurston rounding out the pack, 82 75. Money split up, as the money's always split up when we don't have a split. Wade Sundell, 12,159. Cody DeMoss with a 941. Court Shear, 59.23. Leighton Green with 2,800, and Chuck Schmidt grabs him 1,247 to close out his CFR.
Well, and the Canadian champion, Cody DeMoss, no shock at 90,687. Wade Sundell in second with 75,000, almost 76. Chuck Schmidt finishes with 52,997. Leighton Green in there in fourth, 42,885. And Court Shear is your fifth place man at 42,797. It was an awesome saddle bronc riding. And you know what, Tim? I am kind of getting ready for this one because I think you might have a vested interest in it.
It is time for the tie down roping, and there are 3 guys that could possibly vie for our championship.
Kingsway Toyota, offering a selection of used vehicles, maintenance and repair of all vehicle brands, and auto detailing. Kingsway Toyota, in business in Edmonton for 40 years. For information, visit kingswaytoyota.com.
It's time for the tie-down roping, Tim, and this is going to get tight and quick in a hurry. Let's go to our first man, Lee Rombo, Sexsmith, Alberta. Look at that, Big Alwyn Bouchard back there, serious and concentrating on everything that's going on. Lee, get to it quick, gets a tie on there. Come on, let's see if we can do it. Oh, struggles flanking that calf and puts on the pig and string. Trouble with the tie, and Lee just hasn't had his week.
4 no times and an 8-6 has not been his week is right. He did not plan on this, but bad luck, unfortunately, has not worked for him here today. Gets out pretty good, gets him roped nice and sharp. Like you say, struggled a little bit, hung a leg on his leg there. You see him move that right leg to get out of the road, and a wrap and a half, kind of bobbles the hooey, all the way to a 9-1. You know, though, he is a champion. He will be here in 2016. As we go to Morgan Grant, Didsbury, Alberta, he's riding Mac. Has been all week. They won the Calgary Stampede twice off this horse. We've told you about the horse. We've told you about the cowboy. He can reach, turns out, as well. All right, gets right to him, gets him flanked. What are we going to get done here now, Morgan Grant? Puts a wrap and a half on him and takes the chance as he heads back to Omac.
Well, he takes a big chance there. Some of these calves have been kicking free, so as he gets down to the business part of it, let's see if that calf stays tied. It looks like it does. We can put him in there at 8-3 right now. He's the number 1 gun.
8-3 to take the lead. I hate to be that guy, but I don't think it's going to stay all day. Riley Warren, Stettler, Alberta. He's had a not too bad of finals, and he is one of the more solid, consistent ropers in Canada. Lets it go. Oof, and just as I say that, ropes him around the ears.
Don't you love bragging on a guy?
Sunday fun day, ropes him around the ears. Didn't work for him. No time, and that brings to an end his 2016 year. Well, we'll see him again.
That's it. He is one of those guys that travels and does a bunch. Scott Meeks, Clyde, Texas, or Airdrie, Alberta, if you will. The recent engaged man wants to put a good run together here. He came in as the number 1 gun, and things have just slid out of his grasps ever so quickly. Look at that. The bobble on the tie, just, you know what? Number 14, he's getting back there. He's stiff and sore and not having fun. What do you say about a guy that could be that consistent, Tim, and just isn't?
Well, he just hasn't had the finals he wanted to. You know, I don't know if he's not having fun. He was smiling. We were joking quite a bit there yesterday afternoon. He's a great guy, and we're proud to have him up here in Canada now and wish him and Carlene all the luck in their marriage. Kyle Lucas, Carstairs, Alberta. Now, don't forget, when we flashed to it, Joe Lucas, this was the Sunshine Boy of 1988 CFR. Once again, man, it's a great family. Katie Lucas, we retired her as she handed her crown off to Samantha Stokes, Miss Grand Prairie Stampede 2016. Well, Kyle had a heck of a run there. He can tie with the best of them. His hands are a blur. We're going to go to the replay, a 9-2, just because he missed his slack right there. Didn't get the slack jerked out of the rope, didn't get the send-off down.
Well, and a fast-running calf, he gets to his business here. Quick hands, good secure tie, locks it on, and heads back. Alan Bouchard, the guy we've seen on screen, and you know what? I'm going to let you talk about this one because he's riding a great horse.
Yeah, he's back on Sid here today. Delilah and him weren't getting along, and Al's got that front leg. It's not rope foul. It's just over the slack, and he misses a string into the bottom foot. Now, as long as you cross any three legs in the tie-down roping, it is legal as long as there are three bones crossed at one point in time and tied tight, and they stay that way once you get back to your horse and ride ahead for 6 seconds in order for that calf to test the tie. If it's not found wanting, we'll give you the time, and we do give him a time. 13-4. It hasn't been Al's year either. On to the next one.
Well, that's it. Alan Bouchard, a perennial favorite here. Been here 15 times, and he's someone that you're not going to see right away into the sunset easily. As we head to Chubbuck, Idaho, and Matt Shizawa, our reigning Canadian champion. That could all change today more than likely. He gets down on that calf, and it's all about fast times for him. Not today. That calf laying down has to let him up, then flank him, get to the business of it, but I don't know that there's anyone as consistent as Matt Shizawa once he hits the ground.
He's doing great. You see him all the time. And the short goes in the finals, and an 8-8 is proof in the pudding right here. The calf was upside down when he got there, had to wait for him to get up. In the rule book, it states the calf must be standing when you throw him. He waits for him to do so, brings him out to an 8-8. We're going to go to Logan. Hofer hasn't had the finals he wanted to have either. 7-7, a 9-4, 7-5. He didn't do too bad, but he missed 2 in a row in round number 3 and round number 4. Unfortunate for him, but 2 wraps and a hitch there. Now he just put that hooey on one foot. We'll see if it holds for him. I believe the calf will stay down. No, he did not. The calf got up. No time.
Well, tough luck for Logan. Like you said, he comes out in the first 3 go-rounds and sets the place ablaze. The last 3 go-rounds, he may as well have tried roping left-handed. I'm not sure what he could have done. It just wasn't working for him. As we go to the former Canadian and world champion in Shane Hanchey.
You know, he's a small guy, but he's got tons of heart. He gets down this rope, gets the calf flank just right. He had to wait there and do that technically perfect, but his hands, man alive, he's got some hands, and he knows it right here. He's going to celebrate on the way back to TJ.
That guy is lightning fast. You watch as he gets there. Here's where he could win or lose it. The flank gets him on the ground, locks him out, strings him up. We get to the tie, and his hands are just that fast. He could have saved himself 3/4 of a second. Dean Edge, you're in contention. Let's do it, buddy.
He's about 4,000 behind Hanchey to win it. He has to take one more swing over the calf's back to make sure he gets him caught. Businessman's run right here. String it around. Now what are we going to get done? Little bobble, not a big deal. Gets his hands in the air, hustles back to Sidley. Look at Sid stand there. He is just a picture of consistency and solidification in the Edge family and the tie-down world. 8-3 is where we're at here today on Dean. Just a tick of a bobble. No big deal. We're placing.
Well, we are, and you take that out, he could be 7-8, 7-9, so he's going to be back, and if everything goes right, we'll see him at Calgary this year. Let's go to Ren Richard, Roosevelt, Utah.
Roosevelt, Utah has raised himself at Roper, and right here, did you see that calf scotch on him? Let's go back to that replay as we switch the graphic around. The calf slowed down just a little bit, exactly the same moment as he threw it. Man, when that happens, the calf ain't where you threw it, just like sheep and ducks. If you shoot behind them, you ain't gonna get them. Let's go to Ryan Jarrett.
Well, Comanche, Oklahoma, the former all-round champ of the world, gets to this calf. Look at this. We're putting together a run as he shoots from the hip. We've talked about it a couple times. He carries that pagan string. in his belt loop. He doesn't put it in his mouth like the other guys. Tell us the advantage of that, Tim.
Well, he used to put it in his mouth, and a lot of guys feel it's faster that way. But this guy has practiced so much bringing it out of his belt. Now, a lot of these calf ropers will keep the extra string in their belt, and the first one in their teeth, he only packs one, and there's your winner on the day as he rolls around our arena right now from Hanchey, Oklahoma. That is Ryan Jarrett.
A great run to finish out his 2016 Canadian Finals Rodeo. As we head to the Kingsway Toyota Winner's Circle, Alana Nolan and Shane Hanchey.
Kingsway Toyota Winner's Circle is sponsored by Kingsway Toyota, offering a no-appointment express lube, as well as maintenance and repair of all vehicle brands. Kingsway Toyota, in business in Edmonton for 40 years. For information, visit kingswaytoyota.com.
Okay, Shane, you capture your second Canadian title and win the average. What's going through your mind right now?
I'm just thankful for a great week. I rode, one of the best horses in the world up here and down the States, TJ, and me and Ryan Jarrett both rode him. We've rode him the majority of the year, and he's been awesome. And he won first and second in Canada. That's pretty cool.
You said before the interview that you were a little surprised.
Yeah, the way we had it figured with a few guys going out in the average, it bumped RJ up. So RJ won fourth in the average, and then him winning that round. But when we sat down and thought, I won $21,000 just today, and so that helped my chances a lot.
How were you able to be so consistent this week?
I think it's just the way the last part of my year's been going. I snuck into the NFR 15th, and the last 2 months have been sort of a resurrection of my roping season, and I've got a lot of confidence, and I'm kind of back to my normal self. I'm not pushing, I'm just kind of letting things come to me, and it feels good, and I can't wait for Vegas.
Speaking of Vegas, how are you going to carry this win and this momentum into the NFR next month?
Well, I'm going to carry this horse to the NFR for sure. I'll be riding TJ at the NFR, and thankful for Maynard and Logan Bird and their family for lending that horse to me. It means a lot, and I'm going to go with the same kind of game plan I had here. It's a lot the same, and at the end it pays a lot more to win the average, so I'll be just looking to stay in my zone and try not to do nothing crazy and just see how it shapes out.
Congratulations, Shane. Go Tigers.
Yeah, that's right. Thank you.
Mike and Tim, back to you in the studio.
Well, thank you, Alana. A great Canadian champion with a great Canadian horse. As we look at the tie-down roping here today, RJ in the front with a 7-2, Shane Hanchey with an 8-2, Dean and Morgan split it with an 8-3. Number 5 was Scott Meeks at 8-6, and Matt Shizawa comes in with number 6 hole with an 8-8. Let's split the money up. Ryan Jarrett takes home $12,159. That's half of the 24 he won today. He did win the average. Shane Hanchey with a 9,041. Dean and Morgan split it with a 43.65, and Scott Meeks takes home another $1,200.
Well, he does, and here is our Canadian champion, Shane Hanchey, $62,488. Ryan Jarrett in second, $60,172. Dean Edge back behind there in 45,677. Matt Shizawa in fourth. Ren Richard in fifth, and he's in at 41,000. It was an awesome tie-down roping, Tim. Those guys came in, and it was left up to the last calf.
It was left up to the last calf. I read it this morning, and I realized that Dean was only 4,000 behind the top guy. So you know what? It's always left down to the last minute, and that's absolutely my favorite part of rodeo.
Well, that's it. Now, we all seen last night, Scott Schiffner got off, and he was knocked out. He was out cold and on the arena floor. Our sports medicine team got to him. We had the chance to catch up and talk to him today about his injury.
Well, as we alluded to in the opening, Scott Schiffner was going to be a game-time decision in the bull riding. Scott, that decision has been made. You will not be getting on in the final day of the CFR. Just explain your decision.
The biggest thing is we got the greatest sports medicine team in the world, and they recommended highly that I don't get on, and I trust them guys with my life, obviously, and I got 3 little girls at home, so I obviously want to remember their names tomorrow. But the biggest issue with this is it still was my decision, and that's probably not right. The sports medicine team should have more control on situations like this. Fortunate I've been around long enough to see this situation, but any other professional sport in the world, you play or you don't, depending on what your team does, and you still get paid. The reason Cowboys get on all the time is because there's no guarantees in that, and that needs to change. We got the greatest fans in the world, but we need the support of them to stand up for us and say, Scott, I don't want to see you ride today, so I can see you ride tomorrow. And I'd really like to see rodeo change that way, because there's no need that other guys today are getting on like I chose not to because I'm older in my career, but there's kids here today I guarantee are getting on that shouldn't be getting on.
So you're suggesting, as similar to football or to hockey, having an IR list?
Absolutely, no doubt about it. We're professional athletes, and us as contestants need to start looking at ourselves as professional athletes. But on the other hand, we need to be treated like professional athletes. And my hat's off to all the guys that do act like professionals, and we have the greatest fans in the world. We just need the backing of the CPRA, Northlands up here, to start treating us like professional athletes.
Well, thank you for this, Scott, and we look forward to the next time you do nod your head.
Thank you. We'll see you next year.
Guys, over to you in the studio.
Thanks for that, Alana. All week long, we've had the opportunity to talk to influential people inside the rodeo world up here in Edmonton, and people like Scott Byrne and Chad Byrne. They've talked about the business, where rodeo is going, and I have a little something I'd like to read to you. Scott Schiffner was with some pointed comments about the state of rodeo in Canada today, and that's been the theme throughout the CFR, with all eyes on Dan Eddy, the highly touted new general manager of the Canadian Professional Rodeo Association. We invited Mr. Eddy to appear on this broadcast to answer some of the questions raised by many of our guests, but unfortunately, he was unable to make it to the studio today. Tim, some of the things I wanted to talk to him about, things that we look at, like the governance we have inside of rodeo, as well as the business, and you know what, probably the biggest question of all, CFR 2017. Where's it going to be? We've been in Edmonton. They've been great hosts. I want to stay here.
Edmonton has been an awesome host, and I can't remember not having a good time up here in Edmonton. We've been coming here. My dad qualified when we were kids for a lot of years, and I really, really and truly think that Edmonton will be able to come together. If not, there's a lot of questions that have to be answered. There needs to be a parking solution. There needs to be situation for farm fare. There needs to be areas for the horses to be stored at all times. And once again, ease of access for the public. So, you know what? Pro Rodeo Canada has to make a choice that is best for the rodeo itself.
Well, that's it. And Scott Schiffner touched on the business part of it after that. These cowboys don't have any insurance. They don't have money that they can go to if they get injured. So all these questions need to be answered. With any luck, we'll get the chance to catch up with Dan Eddy soon, or maybe get a release from Pro Rodeo Canada and find some of the answers to what's going on.
So the answers are out there, and I hope everybody can find the appropriate one. What we got to do is keep the Cowboys available to answer the questions, and then on the management side of things, we have got to give them the tools they need in order to research it, then develop it properly, and implement the exact solution that needs to happen for our Cowboys here, because we are in the year 2016 now. It is a new era, and it's time to treat them like pros.
Well, and that's it. You said it best. It's time to treat them like pros. In saying that, let's go to the pros that are ladies. How about a little bit of barrel racing?
It is time for the fast horses and pretty ladies of the barrel race. Friends and neighbors, let's get going.
As we head right down there, it's going to be our first pretty lady. How about this? The fastest lady, the number one lady on the season. It's going to be a Wicked run. Nancy Chabai.
Wicked is right. This horse is absolutely phenomenal. We sold a half brother of this horse at a sale this spring in Rimbey, Alberta. Cody Potts brought him to town. He was great as well. Man, this horse is just fabulous. Comes across the line, 14-72. What can you say? Proof's in the pudding, and she made it.
Yeah, fist pump. She's got it. Deb Gully, Okotoks, Alberta, has won a couple go-arounds, and you know what? She is riding Bobby Goodwin's horse.
Yeah, Bobby Goodwin won this horse in Innisfail, and if we're wrong on that, we will correct it before we're done. Barrel 2 coming around. Nope, that's the good one. All right, let's head for number 3. Slips just a little bit there on barrel 2. It's going to cost her. She has a wide one. Cracks that 14.9 with a 15.19, and I venture to say that's not going to help her today.
No, you're probably right there as we go to Kaylee Melby. Bernieville, Oklahoma, the cowgirl that has already won 2 go-rounds, 17 years old and stealing the show in Edmonton.
She's smoking just absolutely at the top of her game, and this awesome bay horse, look at him fly. He can cover some ground. That is the fastest run of the entire week right there. She hammers it with a 14.56. Talk to me about Ice.
Well, Ice and Julie Leggett from Kamloops, BC. This horse has been stable. When I say stable, I talk about consistent and going around the barrels and having fun. Julie Leggett is having the time of her life at this CFR. Look at that, nudges it, but it stays up. Julie Leggett above the 14-second mark, not where she wants to be, but she's had a good Canadian Finals rodeo.
All right, speaking of stable, she's had a great year all year long. Shirt matching the split boots once again. It's one of her deal. This is Tony Dixon from Millerville, Alberta. 31,008 won on the year. She's trying to gain a little bit more momentum going around barrel 3. 15-1-3, not the best run of her year to wrap it up. Like I say, next year is a new one.
Important to accessorize. I'm going to say it again. Katie Garthwaite, Merritt, BC. So, match your shirt to your boots, Tim. Here we go. Look at this as she's having fun on the Palomino. Get there, get there. A good first barrel. This second barrel, look at that, squeezes around it. In Chuck Wagon world, we'd call it skin in the barrel. To the top barrel we go and take them home just like that. Under 15 seconds, 14-93 for Katie Garthwaite.
You bet. My mother always called us color deficient, hence why we'd never match. Kendra Eady from Longview, Alberta. Great rodeo family. We always called those spots on those horses like that, that's called a speed spot. And he's showing it right here as he comes around barrel 2. All the way up to 3 and heading all the way home. How about a 15:01? Didn't crack the 14:9 here today.
Well, tough luck there for Kendra Eady on Cat. Look at this. This is going to be fun. Taylor Jacob, Carmine, Texas, who's come up. I think she's changed horses there. Well, I don't think this is Bo, and I can't remember her backup horse's name, but here we go. We didn't get the heads up, so look, see the leg lift there? She's on 2, clean there. On 3, look at her run them home. 15-13. I don't believe Taylor Jacob has had the CFR she's wanted, and she'll turn it around heading into Vegas.
Here's a cowgirl who has gone ahead and put her brand on the leg lift around barrel 2. Is she going to get it done here today? It's been 4 in a row that she has. Uh-oh. There we go. Didn't get it out of the way. She run right over barrel 2. And the big old horse from Big Valley, he splits just a little bit there, loses that front left leg. Not the CFR she wanted either. Oh yeah, got her a little tight, knocked it over. 15-21 turns into a 20-21.
Well, yeah, not what she wanted at all. Brady Howes, Metesco, Alberta. Here's a cowgirl that is back, having a bunch of fun. All right, Braid, let's go. Turn that. Best dressed cowgirl. How about some of the shirts she's been wearing? Double bling.
Double bling, and you know what? We want to congratulate her and Gringo, as well as her mom, Gail, for winning Cowgirl of the Year. 14-97, gonna cross the line. No, Let's go to the next cowgirl, Gayleen Buff, Westwold, British Columbia. What does her CFR look like, Mike?
Well, she's had a good time so far. Hasn't made a ton of money. With only $6,000 made so far, Gayleen needs to put it together here. She can tack on another $12,000 to that. We'd call that a good Canadian Finals. But coming in 14-82. Earlier in the week, that would have been good. On Super Sunday, not quite enough.
All right, here goes to Amy Kay. She's going to go ahead and run the Palomino one last time here at the Rexall place. You can see the look at her face. You know she's had a little bit of a rough CFR. Let's watch barrel number 1 here today. And Daisy does not like barrel number 1 at all in Rexall place. You know, this young girl is full of talent, full of try. She's coming up here, living at the Butterfield Ranch. Great cowgirl. She's going to take a no time as we congratulate our champion one more time, all the way from the south side down. Look, let's just watch this run from Kayla right now. Great barrel number 1. Great horse. He's got a lot of stride, Mike.
I need to go to the winner's circle where Alana Nolan caught up with our Canadian champion.
Kingsway Toyota Winner's Circle is sponsored by Kingsway Toyota, offering a no-appointment express lube, as well as maintenance and repair of all vehicle brands. Kingsway Toyota, in business in Edmonton for 40 years. For information, visit kingswaytoyota.com.
Hey, Nancy, you came in here as season leader. You're leaving as a Canadian champion. Describe your feeling right now.
Oh, it's, overwhelming. It's really hard to put into words. This is just something I've always dreamed of as a kid. My dad was Canadian all-around champion here in 1970, and I know he's smiling down on me from heaven.
And this week you shared a quote of Fallon Taylor's about consistent thirds, winning you the world championship. Was that your focus this week?
Yeah, I just wanted to have clean runs this whole time. I felt really strong coming in, and I knew my horse was happy and healthy, and so, you know, it was just kind of a knowing that, you know, we're going to just do the best that we possibly can.
Speaking of Wicked, are you happy with the way she performed this week?
Wow, what a horse. You know, I'm so blessed to be the one chosen to be on her back. She's the one that did all the work, and she deserves all the credit. I just try to stay on.
Congratulations, Nancy.
You.
Thanks for this.
Thank you.
Mike and Tim, over to you.
All right, the barrel racing wraps up like this on Championship Sunday. Kayla, one more time with a 14 and 5.6. Nancy and Wicked with a 14 and 72. Galen Buff comes in with a 14 and 82. Katie Garthwaite from BC, 14 and 94. Brady Howes, 14 and 98, rounds up your top 5. Let's go to $1. Kayla again with a 12.15. Nancy with a 9.041. Galen Buff takes $5,900 home. Katie Garthwaite with 28.06. And Brady and Gringo put another $1,247 in the trailer.
Nancy Chabai ends up your champion, $84,714. But how about the 17-year-old sensation from Oklahoma, $68,451. Deb Gully in third, Julie Leggett in fourth, and Tony Dixon, the lady from Calgary, $31,843 in her bank account this year. It was an awesome barrel racing, Tim.
Fabulous situation watching these ladies run on some of the best horsepower in the entire world.
Well, make sure you stick with us. We get to catch up with Alana Nolan back at Rexall again. Let's head to the bull riding right now.
Kingsway Toyota, offering a selection of used vehicles, maintenance and repair of all vehicle brands, and auto detailing. Kingsway Toyota, in business in Edmonton for 40 years. For information, visit kingswaytoyota.com.
When the party's over and you need a friend, who's it likely to be? Who's the first one you'll see? Probably me. Probably me.
Learn how you can help homeless animals find their forever family. Visit arcs.ca.
A big thank you to our friends at Special Event Rentals for providing some of the set you've seen all week. And once again, our friends at Central Social Hall for providing us with food all week long. Tim, are you ready?
Yes, sir, I am. It is time to ride some bucking bulls.
Toughest 8 seconds on dirt. Here we go. Let's head right to it, down to the buck and shoots. And our first man, here's the torque. Jesse Torkelson, Warburg, Alberta on hitting heavy. Here's one of those bulls that just his name. He hits heavy. He's hard on the ground, he's hard on riders, and he's not user-friendly. You see there, Jesse Torkelson goes to the dirt. Look at Scott Byrne. Look at what he's wearing.
Scott Byrne has the retro gear in effect here today, and Jesse Torkelson in effect as well. Just got thrown off with the centrifugal force. Didn't work for him here today.
That's his Uncle Ryan's outfit.
I believe it is his Uncle Ryan's outfit. Adam Jameson, Okotoks, Alberta, comes to you from Heaven's Basement from the Vold Company of Rodeo Stock Producers. Here we go. All right, into his hand all day long. Riding with the Brazilian style a little far to the left. Didn't work for him here today. Kind of gets a little salt rubbed into his boot. Man, it's cool to see Scotty Byrne in face paint, hey?
That is quite a style. It's retro, and I kind of like it. They should bring it back. Because Adam Jameson, 86 points aboard Heaven's Basement. Move him to the lead right now, and there's a guy that's been fighting it all week long. Well, take him to the top of the class for now.
Why not make the last one the best one, he says. Let's get it done. You see Pony in the back helping these guys on. Jordan Hansen, Okotoks, Alberta, and Kish Me from Big Stone Rodeo Company. All right, my friend, it's time to get down and dirty, dig deep, and let's ride a bucking bull. Kish this, not one of the heavy bulls. He takes care of business here today, spinning the way he always does. Steps off like it's not a big deal. Jordan Hansen says, today was my day as well. last day for some awesome 86 1/2 to take the lead.
Well, and there's a guy that's hit 50% now, hit 500 over the week. Rode 3, got bucked off 3, but finished about as strong as anyone could. Congratulations to my partner from Okotoks on a wonderful CFR 42.
Good ride. Let's go to Bo Brooks and one of my favorite little bulls. Although he's dirty, he will make you some money. This is Moto from Görlitz.
Wow.
Big bald-faced bull coming out, a lot of drop right there in front of the buck and shoot. Bo Brooks losing a foot and coming down. He has not had the finals he wanted. No qualified rides, but once again, I'll promise he'll be here next year.
That's it. That Moto comes out. That left turn is now, and you got to be ready for it.
Dirty pool, that bull.
That's right. Let's go to Lonnie West. Cadogan, Alberta, aboard Whiskey Jack. Tim?
Kessler's raised this bull. He's absolutely phenomenal. Comes out always to the right like that in the gate. Decides to go back to the left a little bit. Lonnie West is doing his job. Aboard in the middle, got his Brammer boots on either side, his mind in the middle, and has dominated here today on Whiskey Jack.
Nice ride there by Lonnie West. Nice ride there. As he makes it look easy. Comes around to the right, then we switch gears. Off to the left we go. Lonnie keeps himself right in the middle, and everything is just good with him now. I think he's going to be one of those guys we see dominating in years to come.
You know, he's gone down the rodeo road. He's learned to rodeo with the best, you know, and he is going to be tough for years to come. Here is another bucking bull we've been talking about all week. This is Sheep Creek from Big Stone. Jared Parsonage, a big shout out once again to the folks in Saskatchewan listening here today. Unsworth Ranch doing its job. Bull went down a little bit on him right here. Sheep Creek, he is big and strong. We're going to let the judges go to it. He's happy. He survived. He's had a great CFR. Won himself a pile of money. Now he's got the option of a re-ride. We'll let you know what he decides in a moment's time.
Well, that's it. That bull just not giving him the opportunity to complete the 8-second ride. So in true cowboy fashion, I think we're going to see him on another.
We could give Scott Byrne one more time to show off that awesome outfit.
Cool
Good job,
again.
Scott. We're going to go to his after party here tonight, too, as well. Good deal. Cooper's Comet. Here is the man we want to talk about today. This could be a show man.
Look at that dude.
Görlitz on the ground. Görlitz on the ground from a Vold bull. You know, he's sore. He's beat up. He's had some good showings here this year, but last bull, Cooper's Comet from Vold, takes the cake.
Fakes him to the left, just isn't the way that he wanted it to go. As we go to Devin Macy. Excessive Force, the Carstairs Cowboy, wants to cover this one. He's in a good spot. Let's see what he does.
These are some tough bulls for the last round, but Devin Macy has it in his wheelhouse to ride anything he wants to. He is sticky here today. 0 mistakes from Devin.
Oh,
got stepped on a little bit right there. Brett Monia's going to pull him away, risk his life, take a couple of bumps for him here. Bullfighters once again moving in and doing their job. Like I say, there's not too many men in the world that'll see a buddy in trouble jump into the eye of the storm, stay with him in that storm until such a time as it's over. Happens one more here. We got one road with Devin Macy.
Well, as we get to watch Brett Monia there once more. Watch here as he's in on the other angle. Takes the bump. No. Gets out of the way. Jumps in. Goes to split the gap. Doesn't come out. And Scott Byrne pulls him away. That tandem is simply iconic.
Yes, yes, it's going to go down in history as we go down to another guy who will go down in history in the bull riding, Mo, and this is TNT.
Here's his final ride in Canadian professional rodeo. He's competing in his final CFR. Look at that. Makes the 8-second whistle in true Tyler Thompson fashion. He's going to celebrate. Climb up top. Let the fans know you're there. This dude is all class.
I'm a little choked up. This is his last bull. I'm really good friends with this guy, and it's awesome to see it happen. Tyler Thompson, I like it. I like it. Watch Mom and Mrs. Thompson up there. Great deal. You know, he's riding pickup horses now, and he's raising a bunch of good cattle. Let's go to Dakota Butter.
Well, here's a guy from Kindersley, Saskatchewan aboard Cutie, and he needs to make the ride if he wants to stay on top of things. Look at this bull. Chucking it all at him. Dakota Butter matches him jump for jump. That bull was dirtier than a teenager's bedroom, and Dakota Butter took care of business. Thank you, Brett Gardner, for that.
All right, Dakota Butter. What a way to end a phenomenal season he had on Cutie. Outlaw Buckers has got one here today. Did his job, but Dakota Butter did it just as well and rode the heck out of one for bull number 6. Good job, Dakota Butter.
Well, that's it. He is just a little bit happy. I think that's going to all but cinch it up, but we need to go to Zane Lambert.
Young
Smoke
fella,
show.
Young fella with a whole pile of talent. Here's a Volvo Bull. Smoke show comes out and to the right. Yep, comes around that left-hand side.
Oh, Zane, tough luck there. You can tell he's not happy.
Shakes old Zaner down. Didn't work for him here this year. Let's dissect it just a little bit. Smoke show doing what he does and going to the right. Stops the momentum and heads back to the left. Zane loses that left leg and is on the ground.
Well, switches gears on him, and that's just not going to help any bull rider as we go to the re-ride for Jared Parsonage. Big Rig, the Maple Creek Cowboy. Look at this. Yeah, we're heading into that spin. Keep it in the middle, Jared. Keep it going. No, just gets off his hand and unfortunately wasn't there for the 8-second ride. Tough luck for the Saskatchewan bull rider today, as that's going to result in a no score.
This guy knows how to ride bucking bulls. You know, he made one mistake there, moving that leg just a little too far past the point of momentum. Didn't work for him today, and he is down. But let's check it out. How about your last round ever in pro rodeo to win it with Tyler Thompson?
Tyler Thompson, Dakota Butter, as Tyler goes out of the arena. Look at that, saluting the fans. Let's go to Alana Nolan as she gets to catch up with our Canadian champion, Scotty Byrne. Look at him there. 2 class acts all the way around. Into the winner's circle we go with Alana Nolan and Dakota Butter.
Kingsway Toyota Winner's Circle is sponsored by Kingsway Toyota, offering a no-appointment express lube, as well as maintenance and repair of all vehicle brands. Kingsway Toyota, in business in Edmonton for 40 years. For information, visit kingswaytoyota.com.
Dakota, you successfully defend your Canadian title. What does this mean to you?
It means quite a bit to get it back-to-back. There's not a whole lot of guys have done that before, but it's pretty special to get it back-to-back.
Zane Lambert took over the lead yesterday. What were you thinking when you nodded your head today?
I was just going to take my bull just for the ride. I didn't think I could pass Zane, but I just still want to ride that bull.
You close out CFR with a win. You split it with Tyler Thompson. How special is it to get a win on the last day and the Canadian title?
I was pretty happy with it because I was stressing a little bit today. It's so cool to win a go-around here, and last couple of years I've gotten one. This year, coming to the last day, I hadn't got one yet. I was kind of sweating that.
So who gets the buckle? It's his last round. Yeah. You should share.
Yeah. Tyler can take it.
Thanks for this, Dakota. Congratulations.
Thanks.
Guys, over to you in the studio.
This is how it looked today. Dakota Butter, 87.5. Tyler Thompson with an 87.25. Jordan Hansen, 86.5. 86 flat for Adam Jamieson. Lonnie West down there with an 82.25. Devin Mazie comes into town with an 80.75, and it broke down the way it needs to break down. 12 on the top side, 9 for number 2. Jordan Hansen with $5,900. Adam Jamieson, 28. Lonnie West and Devin Mazie, 623.
And our Canadian champion, Dakota Butter, 72,000. Right behind him, Zane Lambert. Tyler Thompson retiring. He's in there at 69. Jared Parsonage, Devin Mazie, and Tanner Gerlitz finishes out the top 6. It was awesome. And we get the chance to catch up with Alana Nolan, who's down at Rexall Place. Can you hear us, Alana?
I sure can, Mike. It's there's a party still going on down here at Rexall. I believe there's a wrestling match happening in the Saddle Bronc dressing room right now.
Excellent. That's always going to turn out well, I'm pretty sure, at the end of CFR.
Well, Mike, I want to talk about the highlights that we've had so far this week. What are your highlights from CFR?
Well, a big one for me, honestly, going into things is having a good friend of mine, Roland McFadden, win his first Canadian championship. Also, a guy that I spend a ton of time with, Jake Vold, he got to win a Canadian championship. So 2 guys that I really thought deserved it.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, for me, it was that bareback riding on Saturday night. I have never seen a more ranked pen of horses. That was unbelievable.
Well, it was. And, you know, I'm going to let Tim go to it a bit because,
yeah.
You know, give us a highlight, Tim.
Well, the highlight of my year, I've got to be completely 100% honest. It's the opportunity to bring the CFR to you folks at home. It's my first time getting the chance to do that. Secondly, it's having Dean end up in the top 3 of the tie-down roping. Mom was up here, Janine. It was Aaron's birthday on Saturday as well. Great time for us.
Congratulations to your family, Tim. That you got to be proud of them for sure.
Thank you very much, Alana. You know, we're just all in the same place at the same time, and it's a great time.
How's the atmosphere down there post-CFR right now? Things are wrapping up, but the guys are having fun.
Things are wrapping up. They're all gone to their wrap parties, so to speak, except for the party in the dressing room right now. Hopefully we can get out of here alive.
Well, that'd be great. You know, one of the things I wanted to talk about, and we haven't touched on enough, and I seen Scott Byrne wearing the retro gear tonight, paying respect to his Uncle Ryan. How
Yep.
did that come about?
That was so cool. I got to see him right after the opening. He had his makeup on. What a great homage to his Uncle Ryan Byrne, for sure.
Well, and that's awesome because he does such a great job. He's been a hero to so many people, and it's a pleasure to call him my friend. You know what? It's been a fabulous week here at CFR. And before we do anything, I want to make sure that I thank you, Alana. You've done such a great job for us down at Rexall Place. It's it's been a ton of fun, and it's been great to bring everyone to CFR.
Well, thank you, team. It's been a great time. I really appreciate having you guys on. It's been a privilege.
Well, thanks for that, Alana. Tim, it's almost the end of the road.
Yes, sir. The end of the road for this year. 2016 is coming. We are going to be here at Rexall at Northlands in Edmonton, Alberta for 2016. Thanks, Mike.
Thanks for that. On behalf of Lana Nolan, as well as Tim, I'm Mike LaBelle. Hug your kids.
Bobdale Gloves CFR is brought to you by Bobdale Gloves. Found online at bobdalegloves.com.